Evening, folks. This is Best in Slot, and it is a Saturday, which means it's time for our movie/TV night. And at the moment, we're going through Walking with Dinosaurs Season 1, and we're on Episode 2, A Time of Titans. It's 152 million years ago, and the largest of the dinosaurs, including the long-necked Diplodocus, and I really hope he says Diplodocus and not Diplodocus, roam Earth's fern prairies and conifer forests. I think, I'm just thinking about this, I think more people say Diplodocus if they're in the UK and Diplodocus if you're American, but that's a guess. Anyways, so if you missed it last week, I'm going to link a link down below. You can click that. That's going to let you play the episode at the same time as me. As per usual, I'll say go basically when the sunrise starts. So if you're playing on UK Netflix, I'll say go at the start. You can go straight with me. If you're watching the link down below with the sunrise, then I'll say go as well when the sunrise begins as well. And that's about it. I'm going to try to do more of a review, more of a discussion thing at the end, more like topics to talk about, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, Time of Titans, let's go. So, UK Netflix people, 3, 2, 1, go. Sunset people, get ready. Ready, go. That was pretty close. Or gehen in German. 3, 2, 1, gehen. Stegosaurus. 2 of these intro dinosaurs are in today's episode. Diplodocus and Stegosaurus. And the Ornitholestes, actually. I believe it's an Ornitholestes. Still love this. It's just terrifying ghost dinosaurs in a storm. What was there not to love about it? I'm not a big fan of the title font, but get over it. I love Redwood Forest. I remember this being graphic. Right? There's a Diplodocus. Oh, thank God. And he said Diplodocus, not Diplodocus. Makes me happy. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I remember. It's just... You know what it looks like? When you bite off half a sausage and then you squeeze the meat out of the rest of the sausage. People do that, right? I used to do that. So that's kind of what it looks like. Sausage is not a euphemism. Until your mama. Sorry. Yeah, not surprised they dominated, really. They do have some pretty good competition. Allosaurus is knocking around at this kind of time. Probably the apex predator of the time, actually. But a full-size Diplodocus probably doesn't have that much to worry about. Long-neck boy. Longest dinosaur in the world. Mainly because they're massive. They're much more horizontal than a lot of sauropods were. Most, like the necks of so many sauropods kind of go vertically upwards, but the Diplodocus just very forward-facing for some reason. Well, they are an early example of the, I was going to say genre, but Colorado, 152 million BC. Breakups hurt, man. Beautiful. My favourite era. I think. Looks like the Isle, doesn't it, a little bit? And Redwood Forest. I've got a big thing for Redwood Forest. Yeah, it should be much more of a dinosaur focus today than there was last week. The Triassic really wasn't a dinosaur focused era. I believe this is Ornitholestes, not Oviraptor. Yeah. Aren't they always? Oh no, I remember the little babies. It's not safe, bro. It's not safe. Come on, little one. Push. Push. That's very Jurassic Park, actually. It's not safe, bro. It's actually terrifying. It's like Night of the Living Diplodocus. It's literally like a zombie film with little baby sauropodlets, by the way. What a word. Is that an actual thing? That must be. I completely forgot. I was unaware. Sauropodlet. What's the name for a... Is that official? I'm not sure how official that is, actually. No, it must be. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Somebody's got a business called Sauropodlet Limited in the UK. Run, little babies, run! They're tiny little legs. Been there. They knew exactly what they were doing with this focus on baby dinosaurs and baby other creatures in the first video and the second video now. Very Lost World Jurassic Park. Been there. Like 6.5 pounds. 21,000 calories a day. It's an insane amount of food. The same with a lot of big modern herbivores. All they do is eat, basically. You eat, you sleep, maybe pop out a baby here and there, and then you just do it again. There's really nothing else to life. Sounds alright. What's our Stegosaurus? Such instantly recognizable designs, even the more boring ones like the Stegosaurus. Do 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 do. I can't do that, I'll get copyrighted. There's whip-like tails. It's so bad that I don't know what 40 meters is in length. Is that 120 foot-ish? That looks great, doesn't it? Oof. Like a crocodile. And defecate. Breeding on them, really? Imagine having a little creature just banging on your arm or something. I suppose it does happen with flies every now and again. Same kind of dealio. She's looking a little... You see the ribs poking through. Bloop, 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 bloop. Dung beetles. They are bizarre creatures, they really are. It's funny, this... the whole defecating anywhere thing, just a little side note. For those who missed it, J.K. Rowling came up and talked about it, about plumbing in Harry Potter and in the Wizarding World, and said... that before plumbing came into the Wizarding World, wizards used to just defecate on the floor and magic it away. Utterly bizarre. She looks tiny, but 3 meters long is fairly sizable. It's about 9 foot, something like that. 9 feet long. Stegosaurus. Really need to stick with the metric. Come on, metric system. Or are they? There's still a lot of there's a lot of debate over the sales still. Display, cooling. Allosaurus. It's interesting, they've got that red hue over the eye, and the T-Rex has that red hue under the throat. It's just interesting, they kind of colour coordinate the carnivores a little bit. And it definitely gives them a more menacing kind of approach. Like very, very angry, bloody eyebrows. Run, little babies, run! No, you gotta run quicker. Oh no, back baby. Back baby. Back baby's dead. Oh, that's such a dick move. What was the baby doing to you other than being a mild... It's like kicking a puppy. It's literally the equivalent of what just happened. I'm not sure I want you to live anymore, Stego, but I think he does. The Allosaurus is the apex predator, but... It's the apex predator, but the Stego's a tank. Especially a healthy adult male. From Postasuchus to Allosaurus. I really love this as an epoch. Just the ferns and the redwoods and this kind of vegetation. You just about see the spikes coming up. Little nodules. Stop making me scared about the babies. 2 episodes in a row. Oh. 10 years. 11 years old and being that size. Again, it's an evolutionary advantage, though, isn't it? You've got to grow up as fast as possible to stop being food, basically. Wibbly waving inflatable arm tube tree. Just proper going for it. Having a good old little rave. My entire life is just food. Food and sex. And not dying. The big 3. It's funny, for some reason I don't really think about... Oh. Get it done. I don't really think about the Diplodocus doing this. You think about more vertically necked sauropods doing it, but something weird about seeing the Diplodocus push the trees over in that same way. Oh. Oh. That's remorseless. It's literally 24/7 when you're awake. With a brief banging break, basically. Brief banging break. 4 years later. They're sort of teenagers by now, relative to size, I'd say, the sauropodlets. Oh. As in a sauropod? Look at the size of them. 5 years. See? 5 years. That is incredible growth, it really is. Still in the forest though, they're still not out on the plains. It's like when really short people square up to you, basically. No harm to short people. I just had a lot of short people square up to me in my time. Puts you much more at risk of Allosaurus attacks us, I guess. Oh, I don't remember this bit. I'm nervous. Oh. gonna say that is not moving quick, are they? Come on, guys, I'm rooting for you. It's like a horror film. It's a little bit terrifying. Crispy. He's thinking about it. Oh. Hello, big boy. Brachiosaurus. A new challenger enters. Well, was there a time where we thought Brachiosaurus was the largest dinosaur? Obviously, we know that's not the case anymore. By like some distance as well. Brachiosaurus doesn't even break the top 5, if I remember correctly. It's interesting. You abandon the babies, but you're still, as an adult, programmed to look after them if they survive. It's basically go and survive, and if you make it, then you can come back with us. Communal rearing. It's kind of sweet, isn't it? There's no relation there. It's literally just it's like finding a 10-year-old on the street and going, "I will keep it." I mean, that doesn't sound sweet. That sounds jail timey. But you know what I mean. In this context, it's nice. 5 years later, they've got to be getting up there now. I wonder what the adulthood age barrier is, as in when you hit that kind of peak size. There you go, 10 years old. But it's like with hippos and stuff, I don't think they stop growing. All over a bloody girl. I was going to say, yeah. Is his name Victor, or is he the victor? Male hippos never stop growing, but you do hit like a sort of a max. You hit like a 95% of your max size, and then you just go a little bit past there. Just like humans. Telling me. I was about to say, this does not look like it's going to be comfortable. That was quick. Women everywhere nod. Yeah, seems about right. Oh, God. Return of the Allosaurus. Has a crazy long neck on the Allo. Where's Popper? Protect her. She's got your kids. No. We've followed her for all her life. No. Oh, God. Da 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 da. Go on. Get that whiptail out. You can do it. Oof. She seems huge, but I'll tell you what, so is the Allosaurus. It's funny, you don't think of dinosaurs like the Allosaurus jumping up on something like that, but it's all about scale, isn't it? You think of like Velociraptors doing it, but when you're fighting against a sauropod, then you're going to resort to tactics like a smaller carnivore would, I guess. I do not remember who wins this. Nice! Tag teamed. Oof. Okay, she is actually tiny. She is absolutely tiny in comparison. It's crazy though. Millions of years, it's really hard sometimes to wrap your head around the timescale that there's this huge period of time in which dinosaurs dominated the planet. It's millions and millions of years. We've been around for nothing. We are a blip on the existence of this planet. Some of the dinosaurs, technically, compared to the whole Earth, but we have a long way to go to get anywhere near those. It's always interesting to think what would have happened without the KT extinction. Although, like I said, I'm just going to pause it there. Last time around, there were definitely suggestions that the dinosaurs were dying out even before the KT. And the thing is, being that size then makes a lot of sense, but of course, as we get less and less oxygen in the atmosphere, it gets a lot harder to sustain that size. Food kind of goes down and stuff like that. There's a reason we don't have these creatures anymore that are so exponentially large. I actually got into a discussion about this the other day. This is interesting. So, one of the main reasons people think that we don't have... We're talking land animals here. Let's ignore the blue whale just for a second. This was about the blue whale initially. One of the reasons we don't have these huge animals at the moment, I always thought it was to do with oxygen and stuff like that. The lack of oxygen means it's harder to support such huge body weight. But that's apparently less a thing. That's partially responsible for why arthropods aren't as large. But when we're talking things like elephants and... Well, the lack of... why is a zebra, not 5 times the size it is. And the thing is, over time, things evolve to be bigger. That's just like a natural evolutionary curve. You know, we see it with the dinosaurs. In the Triassic, they weren't very big. By the Jurassic, they're freaking ginormous. And if certain things hadn't happened, they would have assumedly kept growing throughout the Cretaceous as well. And there's a lot of suggestion that animals do just grow bigger over time through sheer evolution, because it's actually better to be big. There's benefits to both, but if the larger you are, the better defended you are against predators, and you're actually more energy efficient at higher sizes. You may require more food, but that food goes further in your system. You can look all this up. In terms of, like, an elephant gets more from its food than a budgie does, right? I don't know why I couldn't think of a small herbivorous mammal for some reason. I still can't think of a dormouse, okay? Dormouse. What's a small herbivorous mammal? This may be proving my point slightly here, that there's a lack of small herbivorous mammals, or I've just gone mental. Are there any small herbivorous mammals? Obviously, there's small mammals that will eat herbs, plants and stuff like that, but they're not necessarily herbivorous. They're at least omnivorous. I can't think of any small ones that wouldn't at least eat an insect. Talking like small deer is maybe the smallest. Am I just missing like an entire grouping of mammals that I can't think of? Alright, well, say a small deer compared to like an elephant, right? The elephant has to eat a lot more food, but it gets a lot more from that food relative to its body size. Like, it has to eat less per pound, basically. So you are energy efficient at bigger sizes. Obviously, there's benefits to being small. You can hide from predators better. There's a lot less dangers. Like you saw there, the sheer weight and size does cause problems for animals. But the point is, we are current animals, elephants, etc., and we as humans, and we are getting taller as well. It's worth remembering that humanity is getting taller and bigger over time. We haven't been around long enough to be big, basically. That's all it is. And you think if you gave us a few million years, we could be like twice the size we are now. Now, whether that happens or not, because we've kind of made evolution redundant through technology, is another matter. Like, at this point, there's very little reason for humans to keep evolving, because what benefit would there? We don't have natural predators, like most of us anyway. But things like elephants and stuff would, in theory, keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger over time again. The only reason we see animals being smaller at certain points is because of extinction events, or certain things will happen that will make being large unfavourable, so evolution kind of hits the reset button and animals become smaller again. Yeah. Anyways, it was interesting, and the reason the blue whales are so huge is A, they're in the water, which is much better at supporting such huge body weights. They've been around for a while and had time to grow, but if you actually trace back the evolution of blue whales, you'll see it again. They were much, much smaller. You can trace them back till they were about the size of orcas, not that long ago, relatively speaking. So they've grown to be the biggest animal to ever exist, and yes, they are the biggest animal to ever exist. Somebody's going to go, well, best in slot. No, they're the biggest animal. Emphasis on the word animal, not organism, but animal. Anyways, the biggest animal to ever exist. Just through sheer time, because evolution determined that being bigger was better. And there's also a theory that sorry, I know I'm going totally off on a tangent here, but I think it's interesting stuff. Where the primary population of blue whales is, there was what's called an upswelling because of the melting in the polar ice caps. And what an upswelling is where water at the bottom of the ocean, where the blue whale is not going to really have access. Basically, as new water comes in, it pushes, especially cold water, it pushes the water from the bottom of the ocean upwards and into the habitat of the blue whale. And that water at the bottom of the ocean was filled with krill. So suddenly the blue whale, in an environment that can support its large weight due to the ocean, it's just what the ocean's good at, that's why so many ocean creatures are massive, has this massive food supply as well to sustain itself, which again is a problem for a lot of our animals. Our animals will never grow to that size simply because we'll keep killing them or removing their environment. If humans disappeared entirely and we left evolution alone, I think you'd eventually see most animals on the planet somewhat bigger than they are now, at least, until another extinction event. And it happens in cycles. It keeps happening over and over and over again. Anyways, that was just a little off topic there. Walking with Dinosaurs. So, let me know in the comments down below what your favourite dinosaur in the episode is. What did we see today? We saw Diplodocus, Allosaurus, Brachiosaurus. What is the pterosaur called? The little guy's walking around, is that Thescelosaurus? They didn't actually mention it by name in the episode. There was a little bipedal herbivore trotting around. I think it's a Thescelo, but I really can't remember. It could be a Dryo. Could it be a Dryo? I've no idea. Anyways. What else was in there? It was Stegosaurus. I actually quite like the Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus has never been one of my favourite dinosaurs. It was my sister's favourite dinosaur, interestingly enough. But in this episode, squaring up to the Allosaurus, flushing warm blood into the plates to heat them up and kind of send this message is, yeah, it's an interesting defense tactic. What the plates are actually for, we still don't really know. People have gone around saying it's for temperature and for cooling and stuff like that. Is it just for display? It's kind of stuff that's always going to be up for debate a little bit, I think. I don't think there's any way to... You can always take inferences from the skeletons and where we find the skeletons and all this kind of stuff, but in terms of the nuances of dinosaur behaviour, I'm not sure that's something we're ever going to totally grasp, because how would we? There's some things you simply can't get from bones, but I'm sure people are doing their best. Talking points. I did want to have like proper talking discussion points, but you know, watching it, I'm like, oh, what would that really be? Let me see if I can think of any. No, not really. Just talk about the episode. Just have fun. Discuss the video down below. Sorry that I've gone a little bit off topic here. I just, you know, I find out things and I wanna talk about things. I don't really get this opportunity in my day-to-day life, so it's nice to be able to talk about things. And I could have definitely given some incorrect information there. This is just based on the research I found. I was looking at this, I don't know, only like 4 or 5 days ago, so that's definitely a suggestion of what is happening. But I'm down to hear alternate opinions as per usual. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know your favourite dinosaur down below. What did you think of the episode? And we'll be back next week with Cruel Sea. We're heading into the oceans. Very cool. Cheers much love as always. Bye-bye. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or you want to help support me a little bit more, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. There's a link in the description down below. Every little really does help in times like these, but it's not at all expected, and by just watching the video you've already helped me out massively, and it makes you a pretty cool person, so well done you. Thanks for joining me either way, I'll see you next time.